everyone. I know it's been a long session. I think what I want to touch upon is we spoke about a lot of wonderful things in this forum. We spoke about how AI is changing things. We spoke about how digitalization is taking lead. But everything together, what it means for you delivering value to your customers is how can things be simple. So what I want to cover today is the same thing. How can we make finance technology simple? Now, one of the first things I learned when I started doing things is when things are too complex, it doesn't help anyone. You can have a world class infrastructure, a world class platform, but if it doesn't operate in a simple, easy way, it just tends to add on to the complexity. Now, with all the complexity you have on your business and organizational environments, you do not want to add more complexity to it. So, my definition of a good working platform is like a mother's love. You don't need to go and tell your mother what you need because the mother will automatically understand what you want and she's able to give you the result. So I come from Aumnee. Aumnee is part of Credit Saison International. So these are the few things which I wanted to touch upon. Number one, on the left, you will see what are the opportunities. The opportunities for NBFCs, we know the market is growing. There's a lot of people who are still in need of finances. So India's economy is growing at a fast rate. We are moving from number 5 to 3 soon. A lot of MSME growth, a lot of operational growth that is happening through the country. So that will fuel the growth for NBFCs as well. And then there is also a huge demand for accessible credit because people still need money in a growing economy. Money needs to get plowed back into business because that is when things start operating into value for the end customers. So these are the opportunities. Now, when you look at the challenges are also quite interesting. Of late, business grows through two channels. You have the as it is, business as usual channels, which is how banking industry has been operating. But about 60% of business of late have been growing through the digital channels. That is also because the public, they've started adapting to digital channels much faster. So the question in front of you is how adept is your organization in handling to these business channels? Not for once I'm saying you should ignore the strategic original channels, but having a policy, having a method to also address the growing business channels is important for you. Regulatory, we spoke about AI. AI by itself is like a big topic of discussion, whether it's good, bad, evil, whether it'll add value, whether it's gonna just replace people. All that apart, you have a lot of regulatory scrutiny happening on the financial sector. So how do you adapt to the regulatory scrutiny? Do you have it, what it requires to deliver the reports, to deliver the audits? All of that is important. The last point, which people don't really understand is while we call India as a single country, every 300, 400 kilometers you travel is a different language, different culture, different, system. So how does any platform have this capability to handle the variances and the nuances and the madness that is India? And lastly, I think, we had a conversation with Sriram where we actually saw customers going onto Google, doing a search, and then he's going onto the website, he's going onto the different forums. Customers are becoming very digital savvy. Decisions or the expectations of customers are becoming really fast. How are you able to adapt to that? Now, here is a summary of, this is like straight out of a survey we did with most of the CIOs and CBOs. We asked them what are the issues. The issues is, as I think, the speaker before me spoke, there's a lot of legacy that exists within your system. So having a legacy infrastructure means what works as it is excellent, but is it fit for purpose for the new age? That's the question. A lot of data silos, right? I used to handle, in my last role, I used to handle a data software. Most people, when I used to go and talk, they used to be very proud and saying, I have 5 terabyte of data, I have 10 terabyte of data. Fantastic, you have so much of data. But having these data is not connected. You don't understand what this data means. It is a terrible thing for you. You may have a huge level of data, but if the data does not make sense for business, that's a terrible thing to happen. Now, we spoke about how difficult and how interesting the credit and the risk management decision making has happened. I don't want to dwell upon that. The key element also is to how do you eliminate, because today most processes we see, there's a lot of manual intervention. For some reason, there is always a bottleneck because everything flows straight through, and then there is a decision making. Somebody has to click the button, somebody has to take a call. These manual interventions are creating inefficiencies in your system. And obviously, we spoke about regulatory compliance. Some of the solutions which exist in the market. So obviously, automation, right? Automation through AI, automation through machine learning. Now, AI and ML, if used well, will give you the leverage to do those tasks. And for me, a success of AI and ML is if you are able to personalize. Now, I take an example of all of us buying goods from the erstwhile grocery store. You go in, the guy knows you, he knows your family, he's able to offer you things personally, he knows which brand you buy, he's able to ask you a few simple questions which gives you that personalization touch. Today, with all this automation, what is lost is this personal touch to the customer. Customer feels he's still talking to a machine. A machine responds to questions, but it doesn't have emotions. So how to create that personalized journey for your customer is going to define your success. There are a lot of tasks because of the amount of data that is flowing in. People are mobile, they use different systems. Are you able to automate and effectively run this task effectively, qualifying them, which tasks need to be under which cycle? That is also going to establish your success. I spoke about omni-channel. I don't want to spend too much time there. Now, the key element is there are a lot of technologies available there. Technologies, we also spoke in a panel discussion, they come with a great cost. Whether these technologies, which are very expensive, are good for you, I wouldn't think so. You will have to invest what is a custom fit technology for your specific use case. You need to go to the market, look at the options, look at who's offering what fits for your business. So invest in those technologies. And since we're on technology, I do not look at technologies as tools. They're like kind of an extended arm of your employees. Technologies work if you're able to train them well, if you're able to implement them well. They are like your new, highly efficient and productive employees. So that's the way the world is going ahead. Now, the point, everybody speaks about data, right? So for me, data is the new oil. We had the oil economy. Today, everything revolves around data. People are making money. People are creating business. They're generating information. They're generating leads. Everything through data. Now, the question is, are we doing it right? There's a lot of advanced data analytics subjects available. What is important is these data should be deriving actionable insights and providing you the personalization that you can go to the customer. If you know in your customer journey, somebody is taking a personal loan at whatever age, what is the next loan is he applicable for? It could be an it could be an auto loan, it could be a home loan, it could be an education loan. But calling the same customer, do you want a credit card? Do you want a personal loan? Will only piss him off. Hyper personalization, I spoke about it. Do you really know which journey of life your customer is in? What is it that is really looking at? And personalizing those loans. Predictive modeling, we spoke about it. Fraud detection, I think we spoke about it. But the clear important point here is in 2026, Gartner defines that about 75% of businesses are expected to use generative AI in some sense or form or shape. That will create a synthesized customer data, which will help in risk analysis and personalization. Now, for me, the bottom line is this. You have a lot of data without insights. It's like having a big book of library. If you don't have a librarian to find out which book is required where, it makes no sense. So you need to find your own librarian. Now, having spoken about the challenges, I'm just going to take a few minutes. I'll give you 4-5 minutes back. Intent is to introduce Aumnee and what we do in the market. So as I told you, we are part of the Credit Saison group. It's a historically large group from Japan, investments around the world. We do very significantly large investments around the world. In India, we exist in two forms. Aumnee is the fintech division, and similarly, you can see our other investments. Classically, for products, we do our co-lending suite, both on the CLM 1 and CLM 2 model. We have lending as a service, and we have our loan origination system and loan management system. Now, this is where we differentiate. The way we develop our products, we use are lending experts. Most of them are industry experts. So they understand the system. The whole essence, the workflow, and the way that the system is created is to make things life simple. Any task, any work, what your company needs to do is simplified to a greater extent that the complexity is handled by the system. We also have a completely dedicated support, so which makes you don't need to invest on anything when you work with us. So this is some of the value additions that we give on to the customers for anyone in your business teams. What they're looking at, they're looking at fast go live. They're looking for multiple asset classes. They're looking to optimize the conversion rate. I've sold X, can I sell Y? How seamless can it happen in the product? So that's something that we cater. For your risk teams, any kind of custom complex underwriting policies, deviations, what kind of a risk that you currently have on your portfolio? Do you have reports for that? Our system does that for you. For technology teams, the system is secure, scalable, and a reliable platform. It's made on an API first self-healing architecture with a very detailed documentation. So technology teams generally love us whenever we go and talk to them. For the operations and finance teams, the ability to generate configurable reports and MIS reports, a robust reconciliation module, all of these are our pluses, what we bring onto the table. So in a summary, this is what we do. The whole application platform is API or URL based. It has custom BRE and risk scoring. It has an end-to-end support journey. It has a completely brilliant reconciliation module and a diverse asset classification class support. And dwelling deeper, you can discover new businesses. It's a plug and play integration. It's like a Lego block. You can build your own loan structures, whatever you want to do. It gives you real-time lending flows. It is cloud-based, so it is deployable and scalable to your business needs. We are in booth number 7. We're more than happy to take questions and talk to you in detail. Thank you so much.